From a super secret location deep within the mountains of Colorado, it's time to strap up, strap in, or strap on with your host, Shenanigans in One Shot. It's From the Ashes Radio!
So, my favorite part is that I thought I was private messaging Adam, and I put it in the group chat. I'm not very good at this.
You sometimes,
me and computers,
you find a way to amaze me.
Gay. Oh well, whatever, man. This is why this is why me corporate jobs and people with degrees and shit don't spend time together.
That's why the only people willing to pay you the big bucks is About Face Radio.
And I love that Phil has already texted me. You have a hot mic, numbnuts. Yeah, that was the first thing I said, Phil.
I don't think we've missed a week in at least 4 weeks, if not 6 or 8, where we have not had a hot mic.
Yeah. What were we talking about last time? It was like Pelosi or something. We were talking about something last time, and Phil's like, hot mic. Whoops, sorry about that. Is this our new thing, Hot Mic Monday? Well, yeah, if I'm talking into it, it is.
Welcome to From the Ashes Radio Show.
I always forget
on About Face Radio. I'm gonna fix this. You always here.
Yeah, but then my gullet looks huge. Look at the size of that thing.
Yeah, my bicep.
You look so little compared to me.
It's because I'm shriveling away.
It has been like a month since you worked out, isn't it?
It has been a month since I have done anything more than 20 hours a day on my back. At least 20.
You got to be going bananas.
I'm going bananas.
I mean, you can only read so many books.
I don't really like bananas that much.
You can only read so many books. You can only watch so many Netflix specials.
Dude, like the week before we did this, we grenaded the knee and the leg. Me and the wife decided to try watching Walking Dead.
And
she made it to season 2. I am now on season 10.
I can't do it, man.
You know what? It was hard for me to get into, and now I got nothing better to do.
That's true. I mean, I get it. For you, it's probably just the perfect time. And you have a stack of books here too. That's where you are.
I always have a stack of books, bro. So let's get going here. Just a quick reminder. All right.
Seth's bicep looks as big as Rob's stomach. That's a big bicep.
So I don't know if he's making fun of my bicep or your gut.
Melroy Kyle. Is that somebody you know?
Yeah, we grew up together.
That sounds like a game
show. I was just talking to him a minute ago.
Open, love it. Well, that's the idea. Should we bring in Adam? Or you want to?
Almost. It's not Adam's time yet.
Okay.
We
need to do Carl. Did you want to do Carl first?
We need just a reminder of our sponsors.
Okay.
So, quick reminder, folks.
You're so much better at this than I am.
Thigh huggers. Okay.
That will be on the front page tomorrow. Oh,
I went the wrong way. Dude, thigh huggers. These things are great. And
what's
if you want 30% off, and 15 of that will go to a charitable donation to About Face Radio. Help us, help out more veterans, improve our show. No, it does not line Rob's pocket. Type in One Shot, just like One Shot Seth. Leave out the Seth, and you get 30% off. Combat Flip Flops, you can do that one.
Mm-hmm. Combat Flip Flops. So if you haven't checked out Combat Flip Flops, you absolutely should. Love Combat Flip Flops. It's been the Institute for Foot Studies of Kinky Stuff did a study, and that showed that Crocs lower testosterone by 30%. So did you really just give the flex? So yeah, go to Combat Flip Flops. Hey, you need them for when you're getting on and off the mat, when you're walking to the bathroom, because you don't want to walk to the bathroom barefoot when you're at the academy, all that stuff. Enter the code ABOUTFACE, all one word, crushed together in all cap letters, and you will get 30% off at Combat Flip Flops. And I just found out that I'm friends with and do jujitsu with, that's hard to say, the guy that makes some of the patches for the flip flops, which is super cool.
I did not know that either.
Yeah, I know. Like the ones I have, and you do actually. You did know it, and you didn't even realize you knew it. He has flip flops, and they say toes towards enemy.
Yes.
He makes patches for him.
Okay.
Pretty badass.
Very cool. All right.
What
now
else?
we can get moving. We'll go to, but it's not Private Carl tonight.
It's not.
It's Private Carol. So, folks, we'll go to that directly after. I think a lot of you know him. One of our absolute favorite people who's been a guest on the show is a student at our Jiu-Jitsu Academy. Good friend of, I mean, we could go on for days, but the department he's with, Aurora, is sponsoring and helping raise money for the Special Olympics, and they're going to do a polar plunge. Wait till you hear the date. They're doing the polar plunge on coming up here. So we're gonna bring Adam on real quick, if you would please.
I absolutely would.
You lean forward better than I lean forward.
I can't believe he's part of the Special Olympics. That is so cool.
What event are you competing in?
None of them. Thank you. Though. I appreciate it.
Hair growing competition?
Yes. I'm gonna lose real quick.
Well, good to see you. Thanks for coming on.
Get to the important part.
Yeah,
have you gotten to tase anybody yet today?
No tasing.
Man, what's the point in doing your job if you can't?
I go to jiu-jitsu so I don't have to tase. There you go.
That was perfect.
That would be the only reason I would do your job. But anyway, keep talking.
Tell us about your polar plunge. Fill us in.
So April 1st, doing a polar plunge with the Aurora Police Department. Basically, a bunch of us officers get together, and we're jumping into a nice cold lake in the beautiful day of April 1st. So yes.
So
I'll be there.
Jump into some freezing water.
Yes. So we're all going to jump in, and we're basically just pledging. Tons of guys are going to do it. Ladies and guys are going to do it. And this will be my second year. First year was cold. I'm hoping it's warmer this year, but it won't be.
Well, if it'll help, I can show up a few minutes early, well hydrated, and I can warm the water for you.
It is the Aurora Reservoir. It could be very warm. You never know.
Well, so obviously, folks are going to want to support this, and they're going to want to give you tons of money so that you raise all kinds of money for Special Olympics. How can people donate?
I'm actually, I sent the post to Seth, so if you guys can post it up for me, you be my heroes.
One, you're our hero. But, I am posting that, folks, directly following this show. Next post it's going to come up is going to be a quick reminder video I did with Adam with the information in case you forgot it, because some of us are forgetful. And there'll be a link to donate. So that's on me, but you guys will see that on from the Ashes page, my page, Rob's page. You'll see it through
all over the place.
Following us somehow or another.
Hey, our phone lines are suddenly blowing up, and everyone wants to know: will Officer Lehman be joining you in the in the polar plunge?
You're gonna have to ask her. You know, if she's gonna step up or not. That's on her. It's not me.
Oh man, that's a pretty good call out. I feel like I should be texting her.
That's awesome that people are calling her.
But you're part of a very, very amazing department, and we have tons of friends in there. So yeah, we got to add pressure to the ones that aren't doing it. Be like, why aren't you doing it? Adam's doing it.
Like one of our favorite listeners, Michael Everett.
Yeah.
No.
I love how he just drops their names. I was going to do it gently. You're just like, yeah.
Hey, the good thing is Everett joined. He joined 2 days ago. I talked him into it. So he's jumping in.
Oh, man. You know what? We'll have him on like next week or something like that to do a reminder.
Do we know any black belts that would benefit from some time in cold water?
I don't know one.
Work at this facility. Do you know any?
Or got him signed up. Osamo's jumping in too.
So we got 3 students from the academy, 3 officers from Aurora that are doing the polar plunge.
Yep. And Merrick was actually going to do it. But Merrick he's out of town with his wife. But Merrick was actually going to do it too.
We're going to get more.
Yeah.
We're going to get more. My brain is just like firing way too fast. I'm thinking of all of them. I'm going to make every way I can. You know what? Neon belly for those officers that don't sign up to jump in.
Ron Newman, you heard that, right?
I'm calling out McAllister.
It's the first one that popped in my head. I was like, I can't wait to threaten him tomorrow when I see him.
This is fun. We should have you on the show more often, dude. I'm having a really good time right now. My favorite part is that none of them are listening, and they're just gonna get like tagged in something later. Like, what the hell just happened? Why am I? Who signed me up for what?
I've already asked them. I already asked them. This is their problem.
You were spoken of, and we, us and the listeners have decided that you're going to participate. Adam, thank you so much for coming on. Let's do a quick reminder. You're raising money for who?
Special Olympics. We're basically sponsoring the athlete or multiple athletes.
Say it again. What?
We're sponsoring the more money that we raise, we can sponsor more and more athletes. So it's like I don't know the exact number, but it's like $70 sponsors the athlete to do the winter and the summer's Olympic games. So the more we can make, the more athletes we can sponsor.
Very cool.
What did you start to say before we were talking over each other? What now?
I forget now. Adam ruined
it. He does that a lot.
All right. I'll get the links up on all the stuff so that people can get some donations in and make you the most donorable.
Donorable? I think we're making up words now.
All right. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you soon.
Good luck, brother. Be on the mat.
See you, buddy.
That freaking dude, man. One shot should do it. It's fun and it'll be good for the leg. I'll bet it won't.
Yeah, no.
That's a terrible idea.
You guys will see it in the video, but I actually contacted Adam about 3 or 4 days ago and I go, hey, that polar plunge thing you're doing, let me help out. And he's like, no, you are not running and jumping in the Aurora Reservoir. And I was like, that wasn't on my mind. It didn't even cross my mind. Do I want to go jump?
Hell no, I'm not doing that bullshit.
No. I was like, no, I'll make a post about it. And you can jump on the show and tell the listeners about it. I'm not jumping in water.
Can you text that link to me if you have it and I'll hang it? Oh, Adam just texted it. Hang on a second.
Okay.
So let me do this.
Anyway.
Copy it.
So.
And then go back to our conversation and post it right there. Cool. And we're done. It's up there.
All right.
That's good. I love the way that just happened. We do have like half of Aurora PD on the mats at Zenith.
Yeah, the good ones at least. The good half, the better half.
I agree. Where's the flag? Oh, so we're sitting in a different spot at the super secret bunker.
It's not in the infirmary because of the leg.
Yeah. Because we're in the medical wing, we have to divide it up. But it is still hung up. Don't you worry, Joe Allen. I appreciate that. And Joanna just tuned in. Cool. Big Joe, it's good to see you, go home girl. All right. So can I do Private Carl now? Because I love this story.
Okay, so
or are you
no, I'm not doing it. I found something. Literally, I found something at the beginning of the week, and I sent it to Rob. And I was like, "This is Private Carl." And then a few hours ago, I found something, and I was like, "We're not doing Private Carl this week. We're doing Private Carol."
Oh, that's right.
And Rob decided it's the greatest thing ever, and I think it's great too. Like I kind of want to go to jail. I did not say that. Sorry. So you get Private Carol. Go ahead.
She's not listening right now, so I think we're okay. Nathan Hucker just tuned in. Nathan, welcome to the show.
He came in at the perfect time.
He really did. All right, hold on. Let me see if I find this one right here. I love this. So the headline reads, and hey, we love our Department of Corrections officers. We love all of you folks.
Yep.
But I can't get through it. The headline: Wild sex claims revealed at cushiest prison as 18 female guards are fired and quit. At least 18 female guards in the UK's cushiest prison have reportedly been fired or resigned amid a flurry of sordid sex accusations, including claims of sex inside cells and one guard smuggling her underwear into an inmate. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking. Some of my favorite movies are based on exactly this scenario. The publication obtained documents about the exits obtained through information requests showed the inappropriate relationships were more widespread than publicly known. This is only funnier based on that cop in, was she in like Tennessee or something like that?
We talked about
where she like worked her way through the whole staff.
Oh, yeah.
British outlets are reporting that 18 women who were fired or resigned from a singles jail is a record. Oh, look at them records.
The next sentence is the one I haven't pulled up.
Noting that since 2019, all yours, go ahead, take it.
A total of 31 women across England and Wales have been fired from jails for intimate relationship. Wait, so there was 18 from one jail, but just in the last 3 years, There's been 31 other guards that have been
Ladies,
for.
Explain it to me. I gotta understand, ladies. Why are there so many single good men out there in the world, and you're in there banging the inmates? Come on. What's the deal? Why do I have friends that are sad and lonely? And you're getting the spurs from the dudes.
For our friends are sitting around kicking chick, bro. Kicking chick. I'm like, the fucking guys in prison are getting it. Like,
oh my God. And I'd love to know the record on somebody. Oh shit. I'd love to know the records on some of these guys. Well, here we go. Sounds like I need to go to England.
yeah.
They like the bad boys. I can be a bad boy. What the heck, man? Come on.
You speak.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't flush everything all the way. I mean, come on. I can be a bad boy. One time, my tire was over the white line when I parked. What's up now, Crystal? Huh. BJJ hurt tonight. That is all. Oh, Stack. So glad you're there. Do you want me to blow that up for you?
Well, no, I have it up too. I just. I'm not very efficient.
oh, you had
it was in my lap.
That is outstanding shit right there, man. I swear to God, I love that.
I don't get everything though.
So yeah. So this is feeding from
the other ones. I know.
Both Facebook pages and from YouTube, as well as people can comment right on here. So what you're looking at is the Facebook comments, which is fine. Some of them are pretty darn funny. Sorry, I'm okay. Handicap section. Bad girls.
Oh man,
that's hysterical.
Yeah,
it cracks me up to no end. Hang on. Keep talking while I send this email and see if we're good to go here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Here's the thing that crossed my mind is because obviously there's a bunch of dudes in there just working out, getting in shape, and so there's some attractiveness. But I have visited a jail or a prison more than once, just as a visitor to see what they look like. To a few times.
I feel like you just danced around something in a big way.
And the odor in which comes off the people that are detained there is never good.
So I have only been to a prison twice. Once to bail out a mutual friend, and they wouldn't let me bail him out. And once. Well, I mean, I've been there to the Sally Port a bunch of times working as a paramedic, but that's about it. But I mean, yeah, I've never actually been in cell blocks D or anything like that.
I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
No, I'm not that kind of. What?
I thought you had done something before.
Did Crystal find your wanted poster? Is that how she got connected with you or something? Walking through the post office, mailing off a check, and
he looks good in orange. But either way, there's so many things where I'm like, you want to do it in jail? I don't know. And why is it so prevalent there? Is it prevalent here too? I thought just dudes did other dudes in jail and prison in America. Well, I'm sure the girls are doing but I didn't know, maybe once in a great while something happens, but 18 from one jail and 31 in 3 years, that seems like very high numbers of sexual activity in those countries with guards and prisoners. And they don't even have as many prisoners in prisons and stuff. They're not America.
Hang on a second. Let me just before I make my next comment, let me just check the listeners. Let's see who is and actually is not listening. You fancy Rob with all the comments linking together. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Yeah, I don't see her. My ex-wife was a prison guard.
Some people are listening.
Now forwarding this to Sandy. Exactly right. Yeah. Yeah, that could be catastrophic. So we're gonna go ahead and skate on past that one right there. But yeah.
What's really funny is it took a couple seconds, but then my mind started spinning, and because I know you. Things really escalated there in my brain. One time, a long time ago, one of my very close friends, a comedian, a very good comedian, and I was talking about all the backlash I always get for just saying craziness on social media. He's like, I think you should just go with it, bro. Just let it all hang out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've gotten worse since then.
Yes, you have.
But we're going to contain this. So,
yes.
Anyway.
Yes, you have. It's actually been kind of funny. Water fountain toilet is sexy AF. Okay. Apparently we have people that have done a little bit of time. So that's awesome. The comments are cracking me up to no end. Seth, you're putting way too much thought into this. Yeah. Whatever, man. So we are just waiting at this point for Tig to dial in. He is supposed to be joining us anytime now. I sent a text, make sure that we're all on the same page. And yeah, we should have him anytime now. But what do you call it? Have a great show. Hot mic, numbnuts. A lot of hot mic text messages. Thanks, folks. I appreciate you guys.
No, that's just a show.
Yeah. Yeah, that cracks me up to no end, man. Like 31 women. That's hysterical. I mean, yeah. Whatever. And yet we have don't we have a mutual friend that like you're trying to give like how to pick up ladies advice to, or not pick up, but like how to talk to women advice to? not pick up, yeah, but you know what I mean.
I do know what you're talking about. No, I can't. That's not radio friendly.
No. Oh my God, that's hysterical. Hang on, let me look at some of the other ones that you sent throughout the week while we wait on Tig to get here. Some of them have been absolutely outstanding. Let's see here.
I'm always doing research for the show.
And I love that you send them all to me. It cracks me up to no end.
I also have a lot more time on my hands now.
Stacks, DFAC on Carson. We already did that one. Some of them are absolutely hysterical, but whatever, man. Coming back. What are you folks doing for St. Patrick's Day? Anybody do anything good? We want to thank you very much to Sandy, one of our favorite listeners, for absolutely hooking us up with corned beef, mashed potatoes, carrots, and really hot sauce this week before the show. Really appreciate it. What do you call it? What else? I think that should just about cover everything. Yeah. So for those that don't know, if you have not watched the movie 13 Hours, it's the story of Benghazi. You absolutely should. First of all, it's a great movie. Let's start there. And then let's go with the thought that, hang on, let me back out of this one. So we like veterans in the show, and we particularly like veterans running for elected office on this show. So let's go to his Tig For Mayor. For those that don't know, Tig, the guy from 13 Hours, is running for mayor of Colorado Springs. What are your thoughts? So as a general rule, and I know you have a similar attitude, I despise politicians because when they fail at their job, that's when we start our job. But yeah, but veterans running for office always warms my heart. It makes me happy.
Most of them.
Most. You're not in Douglas County, Colorado, so you're not tracking most of what's going on in Douglas County. But are you hearing? You don't watch the news at all?
Depends on the day.
So let me run this one past you.
Okay.
In Douglas County, we have a county commissioner who is a veteran, was discharged honorably from the military, however, never served in a deployed status, but presents himself as a combat veteran, like as in was a member of the VFW, just stuff like that. His bio reads, he's a combat veteran, stuff like that. What are your thoughts on something like that? You can
be part of the VFW without being in combat.
Correct.
Okay.
It's foreign wars. You are completely correct.
Who is he actually said I'm a combat veteran to?
When he was running for office, he said it quite frequently.
Okay.
So
it's out of his words.
Yes. It's not like somebody's misrepresenting
I'm going to tell you how simple it is.
Tell me.
Show me the DD-214. Like, show me the money. Show me the DD-214. That's all it is. And here's the deal. And here's the reason why, folks, is because we all know this, that sometimes some things don't get on a DD-214. It rarely, but sometimes there could be like you get a fucking, what's the lowest level, like an army commendation, not army commendation. What's the?
The rainbow ribbon you're talking about.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. I don't know. I don't have.
It's when your team leader says he did good at PT today.
Oh yeah, the not the ARCOM, it's an AAM, Army
Achievement Medal. Like sometimes you get an Army Achievement Medal, it doesn't get on there, but for the most part, your actual stuff, like were you deployed or were you not deployed? Yes, that is going to be correct and on your DD 214. Do you have a Purple Heart? Yes, that'll be on there. It's not; those are things that don't just magically not be on there, and you have. Okay,
you jumped in with both feet.
So that's it. Like show your DD-24. I think anybody at any given moment that gets called out for saying anything about their military career should have to be able to just show your DD-214. I mean, some people carry it, Allie.
Yep. I agree. I see the DD-214 as all encompassing. Like I've never had someone be like, I don't know. I've only met one person where they like said it differently. Who, it wasn't on my DD-214, and like, no, man, because I see a DD-214 as like that's got everything. You check that over before you get out. I mean, they make you sit down and read it before you sign the document.
So my answer to your question is I believe that is blatant stolen valor. And I also believe that once you're elected president,
the comments are
capital
awesome.
punishment for all stolen valor.
I like your
attitude. But not until it's in law. I mean, I don't want to commit a crime.
But we're getting a lot of this. I'm seeing veterans. You're the ones I want to hear from because we're seeing a lot of this of people embellishing their military record. Hey, I was intel with, whatever the case may be, with JSOC or some shit like that or whatever. And, it didn't get on my DD2. Or the worst ones is it's so secret that it wasn't on my DD2. Anyone that tells you that they did something so cool that they're not allowed to tell you about it, they are completely full of shit.
They were a cook.
Yeah, exactly. Because here's the deal. If you did something that's super cool and you're not allowed to talk about it, you have a cool story that goes behind it. This SMA is on vacation at Santa Barbara. Oh, well, Trent's not joining us this evening.
Okay.
It'll be Rich. But yeah, anybody that did something super cool in the Army, like if you ever get somebody in the military and they're talking to you, like, oh, what'd you do? Oh, I worked commo. And they, dude's got like no neck and is shredded and jacked like this. That dude was a murderer. Straight up. A murderer. Because he's got a cool story to go with. Gotta love all the Joel Hunt comments. Oh my God. They just keep going. It's good stuff. But yeah, and I don't know if you folks heard about it. I've talked about it before. The lady that claimed to be a United States Marine and was injured in Iraq and became the commander of a VFW post in like Iowa, worked at the VA as a counselor. Turns out was never in the military.
I read that.
And like got a car and stuff. Whatever, man. Good stuff. Allie, are you up and available? Are you ready? Can you come on a little early? I see you there in the green room. If you're able, she clicked open. I guess she is. She's excited about being here tonight. Oh, she's putting on the headphones. She's amping it up. Aloysius.
Hi guys, how we doing?
Can you hear us okay?
Can you hear me?
Your volume's a little low, but other than that, I can hear you.
How about now?
Much better.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So I do want to make a comment about the DD-214. If you screw up and you didn't review it, and for instance, so when my ex-husband got out, he was awarded the Bronze Star. Maybe it was on there.
She's doing it on purpose.
You think she's doing it on purpose?
An amendment.
Allie, you're coming in like you went full robot on us.
Do it again. Say it again. All I heard was go ahead. Say all that again.
Okay, so if you screw up on your DD-214 and you forget to add something, you can get what's called a DD-215, which is an amendment to the 214. My ex-husband forgot to put his MSM on there, and he had to go back, and they just put the DD-215 addition to DD-214, Meritorious Service Medal, blah, blah, blah. So you should get that DD-215 if you forget to add some shit to your 214. Okay, that makes sense? Okay.
Yes, it does.
Okay. And then you had said something. You called my name for something. What did you say?
Probably that I love you. I don't know.
Oh, I love you too. And, so I think so. That lady you talked about, but the VFW commander, I think she's out of Providence.
Was it probably? Oh, I thought it was Tennessee. Maybe it was. So you know the lady I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And
We were in training last week, and somebody had, and I didn't, because I don't have cable, I don't watch the news, like I don't, and they're like, yeah, blah blah blah, and I'm like, wait, what's going on? And they were telling me that she's a counselor and she's this Purple Heart Marine, and of course the first person I thought of was our friend. And so,
yeah, well, I'm sitting right here. What are you talking about?
And it's amazing. Like I don't know, guys.
Are you seeing a lot more of this on your end of like people embellishing things or just trying to I don't know the word, embellishing what they did
from the Vietnam guys? I don't get it too much from our generation, but a lot from the Vietnam guys. And I had one guy who did say that his mission was so super secret squirrel, it wasn't on his 214. And I'm like, well, if you can't prove that you were there, I can't compensate you for it, right? Like I can't. I'm sorry. So he comes back with some photos. He's like, I'm like, oh, this should be on your TD 214. It was just a simple mistake. They didn't put it, but and I got him compensated. But I don't what are we gonna talk about? Oh, so last week, I made a video about combat related special compensation. Okay.
Go ahead. We've been talking about this a lot. We missed you 1 or 2 weeks because of work and stuff, but yes, this has been a hot topic of conversation.
So everybody was just throwing jabs, and she's 100% right. She's 100% wrong. She read that somewhere. I was hoping I would never see this bitch on my For You page again. I'm like,
people are vicious, aren't they?
Like, I'm literally sitting here trying to help you because most of you guys have no idea where your fucking ass and elbows are, and they're still coming at me. So yes, there is a difference between combat-related special compensation, right? Retired pay, separation pay, and disability severance pay, okay? Combat-related special compensation is for military retirees with combat-related disabilities. It is monthly, it is tax-free, and it goes along with any retirement payment you are already receiving, okay? It may reduce the amount of VA compensation that comes in to recoup any retired pay, okay? That's CRSC, and you have to meet some criteria. Okay. CRDP, concurrent retirement and disability pay, restores retired pay for military retirees with service-connected disabilities who decided to waive retirement pay in order to get VA disability compensation, because you can't collect both. You're like, well, I get retirement pay and VA disability. You don't get your full retirement pay. You get a portion. Because the laws changed and CRDP is now a thing, in order to qualify, you have to be rated at 50% or greater and be either a retiree based on length of service, or a reserve retiree with 20 or more years, or a retiree due to a disability under chapter 10, whatever. Okay. If so the VA and the DoD, they coordinate the payment, because combat related special compensation does not go through the VA. That is your branch of service. This is why you have to apply through your branch. And I said on the video, make sure you read the directions on where to send it in, because you're not sending it into the VA. You're sending it into your branch of service. Okay. So
let me one hot second. Hey folks, if you're don't have a TikTok account and are not following Ali Says Nope on TikTok or Instagram or any of those, you're only getting a snapshot of the picture. You've got to follow her on those platforms so you can get even more of the picture, because she gives a lot of great information. I have a rule that I never, ever argue on the internet. And some of your commenters will drag me down, and I'll have to start, no, man, you're not correct. She is giving you this information. And I start arguing with these people, and I'm like, nope, I got to stop. There's no use arguing with idiots on the internet.
Right. So I've had to learn, because I take this stuff personal, right? This is my profession. And so when people are like, no, you're wrong. And I'm like, I'm not wrong. This is what I do for a job, So I've had to just like delete, block any negative, and like just gone. Uh, so that's the difference between concurrent pay and combat related special compensation. So if you go to va.gov / right, or just search and just type in CRSC or CRDP or ANA, literally anything you need to know about veterans benefits is at va.gov. Don't listen to the old guy at the bar because it's not the same rules. It's not the same VA. It's completely different. Do your research though, because you might be missing out on some monies that you are entitled to, that you've earned.
On the way to the show today, I got a phone call from a friend. They were super excited that, well, person I know, they were super excited. They got their disability rating. They got 40%, but they feel that they should have gotten more based on a few of their injuries and the things that they have going on. How do they, and I told them I would connect you and whatnot. How do they now go back, and do they have to reapply, or what do they have to do? Because they feel like they're being underrepresented in their VA rating.
So everybody feels that. Okay,
I
so
don't.
if
know.
it's been less than a year, okay, so read your letter. You have to read your letter and understand why you were denied or why they gave you the rating that they gave you. Every rater uses the 38 CFR, Code of Federal Regulations, and it's this big booklet, and it has every disease and body part known to man, and based on symptoms is how they rate you. So I know sometimes it seems like they pull ratings out of a hat, but they don't. They follow the 38 CFR. And also, it is what the veteran says during their interview. A lot of times, the veteran will talk themselves out of a higher claim because they minimize the symptoms, they minimize the pain, they say they're okay, they say they're managing fine, and they may be, but you have to go in and talk about, like, on the worst day, on the day that it hurts the most, that's what you should be talking about. So read your letter, okay? If it says, for instance, that you're missing the diagnosis, right? We see that this happened, but there's no chronic disability, there's no diagnosis, but on page 17 in your medical records, you have that diagnosis. That's a clear error. So you're going to file what's called the 0996 higher level review, and this has to be done within the year of the decision, okay? You're going to opt in for the informal conference. When they call you, they're only going to try and call you twice. If you miss the call, you're shit out of luck. When they call you, they're going to say, all right, what is the error? And you're going to say, the decision said that there's no diagnosis, blah, blah, blah. But I was treated. I have the diagnosis. It's on page 17 of my medical records. It's referenced again on page 85. And I feel that the rater made a mistake. I do have a diagnosis. And the rater's going to be like, okay, cool. Let me take a look at it. We'll get back to you. And if there is a diagnosis, then, okay, great. You're going to get your compensation. If they say there's no diagnosis and you really do not have a diagnosis, and people with post-traumatic stress are famous for doing this. So I have PTSD. All right, motherfucker, how do you know you have PTSD if you don't have a diagnosis? You need that diagnosis, okay? So you put in for post-traumatic stress. You don't have the diagnosis. You've never stepped foot one in counseling. And the VA comes back not service-connected, because not service-connected is the way the VA says no, okay? Not service-connected is not the reason you were denial, okay? So you don't have a diagnosis, and they say, we can't grant this, you don't have a diagnosis. So what you do is you call the VA, you call the vet center, you get the diagnosis. Now you're going to file the 0995 supplemental claim with that new and relevant evidence. The doctor's notes, your counseling session notes, and the diagnosis of post-traumatic stress, that's all new and relevant evidence. You're going to submit the 0995 with that evidence. They're going to look at it again. You're like, oh, shit, yep, diagnosed post-traumatic stress. They're going to look at your service records. Oh, this is the event. This is the qualifying event. You walked in on his, buddy swinging from the rafters, or a round blew up inside the Sheridan. Something happened, right? Something happened that you have to have an event. Then you get your service connection for post-traumatic stress, okay? And post-traumatic stress comes with different levels, 0 to 100. Not everybody gets the 100. Not everybody just gets a 0. Not everybody has post-traumatic stress. It can be just an anxiety disorder. It could be a personality disorder, okay? So, and it could be just depression. So please make sure you have a diagnosis. Make sure you're in counseling before you apply for post-traumatic stress. And another big thing with PTSD, if you put post-traumatic stress on a 526 EZ, okay, you must also file the 0781, okay? They're not going to grant you post-traumatic stress without it. They're going to send you a letter for development saying, hey, you claim PTSD, we need to see this. And that's going to talk about what unit you were with, where you were, what happened, was anybody KIA, who are they? They're going to ask you to name names, and they're going to ask you to explain what happened. And then they're going to ask you what your symptoms are. They're going to look for the diagnosis in your medical records. So if you want to claim post-traumatic stress, you also have to do the 0781. If you claim military sexual trauma, okay, that in and of itself is not a symptom, okay? MST gets granted under post-traumatic stress, but they separate it because MST is different from PTSD, but it still gets its the 38 CFR under mental health conditions, okay? If you claim I ass beat in the military by an ex, right? Like, bad. It wasn't sexual trauma, but he beat my ass into oblivion. So you filed the 0781 for 181 alpha for personal attack or MST. What's that?
You were going in and out for a second, but you're okay. We got you now.
We're having a snowstorm right now. Like it's all crappy shit.
Really?
Yeah, it's coming down. So it's probably why, because I've never had this problem before. So it might just be you guys.
Probably his brace might be interfering with the Wi-Fi signal or something.
You gotta hold it up.
Yeah, make him stand over here.
I'm dialing in the Wi-Fi. Left will right.
So, like, for example, I have friends that like, and I'm just spitballing here examples. Has a TBI from from an event in the military and is getting treated for all the things that go with the TBI, but the TBI itself is not on their record. Do they need to go back and get that added or something?
No, it's too late. In order to be service connected for traumatic brain injury, you have to have the baseline. You have to be diagnosed like damn near right when it happens. And if you claim TBI and post-traumatic stress, they're going to get lumped in because it's called pyramiding, right? Because you cannot distinguish where one symptom ends of one injury and where a symptom begins of a second injury, right? Because TBI and post-traumatic stress, their symptoms really resemble each other. Okay, so that's the same thing with like GERD and Crohn's. It all gets lumped in together because you can't differentiate, oh, this is because of this TBI and this symptom is because of post-traumatic stress. So it gets lumped in together unless, and I've seen it happen, but it's rare, you get your diagnosis of TBI like right away. You were blown up, they send you to launch stool, they do the CAT scan, the MRI, all that stuff, they see the traumatic brain injury, boom, in your records. Later on, you had another traumatic event and you develop post-traumatic stress and you claim it, be like, I never used alcohol or I didn't have a substance abuse problem before, but after this traumatic event and with post-traumatic stress, and now I have a substance abuse problem. So very rarely are they ever separated, but I have seen it happen. It can happen. You just have to have the TBI diagnosis damn near immediately.
Okay. Good stuff, Allie.
So,
Thank
and
you.
My phone is absolutely blowing up with stuff. What do you call it? There are people that listen to this show exclusively to listen to this segment.
Thank you.
Well, and that's what I was about to say is
we get questions.
We get people that go and they file. They've been out of the military for a while. They go and they file a VA claim simply because of the information that you put out on this platform. So on behalf of a lot, and I get these text messages daily. Thank you for what you're doing. And combine that with the show probably a month or so ago where people found out that like there's only one VSO for the whole Fort Hood area. People lost their minds.
Good. What did they do about it?
Nothing. They sent Rob a text and Rob said, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So Miss Casey is wonderful, but there is one VSO and she's it. So don't get mad at her. Get mad at your elected officials for not doing anything, for saying, oh, we care about veterans. Bullshit. Because if you did fucking care about veterans, you wouldn't have one VSO for the entire Fort Hood area.
How do we fix this?
There is a bill that we are trying to get passed in the House and the Senate called the NAC VSO bill. And it would give all the states $5 million or $50 million spread over 5 years to hire more VSOs. So current VSOs can go to training because laws are changing every day. And so, like, we all know that shit VSO who probably should have retired 30 years ago, right? And he's like, oh, I can't do that. I don't know how to do that.
I'd like to be that VSO one day.
Yeah, I will be that VSO one day, right? When I'm 80. I'm putting in my time now, guys. I in the 2 years I have been on stupid TikTok, I have helped more people directly and indirectly than a VSO that has been sitting in that chair for 30 years. Like, facts, right? Like, I don't have to do this. I'm not paid for this. Like, you guys don't pay me. I do it because the misinformation out there like drives me nuts. Like, it is a personal crusade for me, right? So anyway, so call your elected officials, tell them to look at the House bill, and it's House bill, or I have to, but it's the NAC VSO, the National Association of County Veteran Service Officers bill. I was in DC a couple weeks ago, literally knocking on doors and be like, support this bill. Like, you need to, because you care about veterans. You said on your campaign that veterans are priority. Well, here you go. Sign this fucking bill, get it passed. So we have more than one person for an entire county. That's how you help. Call your electeds.
I am going to our county commissioners meeting tomorrow. After our discussion a couple weeks ago, I had to look it up. I'm going to our county commissioners meeting tomorrow to raise this up, because basically the VSOs in my area are volunteers that have the potential to get a stipend.
Yeah, that's stupid. That's fucking stupid.
Like,
and this bill will pay their salary. It'll pay the salary, and it'll pay for more VSOs for that county.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, cool. We will get that done. Allie, can't thank you enough for the time. Appreciate what you're doing. I don't know if you can see some of these comments, but people are just blowing up.
So Kyle Miller, just in case no one knows, scars from surgeries count toward your disability. Yes, they do. If they are painful, okay, just having a scar is not enough to be compensated. They have to be painful and they have to meet certain criteria. So yes, scars count. Absolutely. It's usually 0%. I've never seen anything higher than 0 unless it's like a severe disfigurement. But if you I have a scar on my inner thigh that I have a scar on my inner thigh from when I was in service. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. It's like it's big. And it's 0%. Yeah, so there you go.
I'm jealous, man. All I got is my one from my scalpel on my finger. So, and that was just me cutting my steak. I
actually do have a scar that is 10%, by the way.
Seriously?
Yes, and it's because I had a bone graft. Very specific. I had a bone graft, and when they cut the grafting location, not the heel location, they cut nerve endings, and I was in OT for like a year, bro, fixing it. So it was like highly documented that the scar and the nerves there are like jacked up.
Wow.
And that's how you get a percentage other than 0. Yeah. You have to suffer. Like, I hate to say it, but the more you suffer, the better the rating.
Well, I guess we will see you next week. And Allie, again, thank you so much. And thanks for giving us a little bit of extra. Go ahead.
You won't see me next week. I'm going to be in St. Martin. I leave Thursday. I won't come back until Tuesday. I am going to St. Martin. I need to get away. I need a break. I've been looking forward to this trip since I booked it on Thanksgiving. So it's the man friend's birthday on Saturday. So we are going away.
It's the best title ever.
The man friend? Yeah. I mean, he's older. So
who did anybody win a new motorcycle?
We find out Wednesday. Wednesday's Wednesday's the weigh-in day. Yeah, which sucks though, because I have a biological disadvantage. Okay.
I've been saying that about you for years.
I have a biological disadvantage just because I'm female. So I'm gonna go take some magnesium citrate and go poop my brains out for the next 2 days because I'm not losing this bet. I'm not losing.
That is the most Army height weight thing I've ever heard in my life.
Where do you think I learned it from? Huh?
wrap some saran wrap around you and just
Yes, I'm running up and down my stairs.
he has no idea what we're talking about right now.
You never know, because he's a thin guy, right? Like you've never had to. You've always made tape and weight, right? Like you've always, yeah.
He's never
no.
been taped.
He's never, yeah, right. You don't even know what that is, right? You don't even know what a tape is. Guys, I love you. I will see you 2 weeks from now.
All right, we'll see you soon. Ours are over in the other
We're in the
studio.
studio, not the infirmary.
Yeah.
We'll stream in 2 weeks.
I can
Bye,
make a
guys.
noise. Ah!
Yes. Bye, fuckers.
Bye, Al. Holy crap, that was funny. All right, let's get rid of that one, and we're good to go. All right, folks. So yeah, we got plenty of time. We're going to do Never Forgotten now. Our buddy Eric put a lot of time and effort into it. Normally, we end the show with that, and I'm chatting with Doug on the side. Let me find it. Where I know he put it in here somewhere. It's right here. There we go. All right, folks. So hey, we talk about this all the time. If you've had someone whose name you'd like elevated on the show, all you gotta do is send it to us. Send it to us in a text. We'll do all the research. We have a person that spends a lot of time and effort and puts these together. It's important to us. So yeah, if you have a name that you want lifted up and remembered, send it our direction and we'll make it happen. But in the meantime, here you go.
This is an About Face Radio tribute to those who are laid to rest with honor.
When he comes home, she'll be right there to greet him and tell him that she loves him and hold him in her arms. Yeah, this life is too short not to count the things that matter most of all. She'll show him that she's proud of what he's done when he comes home.
About Face Radio proudly salutes U.S. Navy Lieutenant Vincent Robert Capodanno of New York City, New York. Lieutenant Capodanno was born on February 13, 1929 on Staten Island, New York, to a father who was an Italian immigrant and a mother who was Italian-American. Capodanno was ordained a Catholic priest on June 14, 1958, and became a Navy chaplain in December 1965. On September 4, 1967, enemy troops were threatening to overrun the 2nd Platoon M Company Marines in the Khe Sanh Valley of South Vietnam. Sensing the Marines' urgent need on the battlefield for their chaplain, Lieutenant Capodanno left the safety of the company command post and entered the battlefield. The lieutenant dodged machine gun and mortar fire to provide medical aid and administered the last rites to wounded Marines. A mortar exploded, which severed part of his right hand along with injuring his arms and his legs. The lieutenant refused medical aid and instead directed corpsmen to attend to the wounded. Despite his injuries, Lieutenant Capodanno continued his work on the battlefield as he provided encouragement by voice and example to the beleaguered Marines. Capodanno's last action was to rescue a mortally wounded corpsman who was directly in the line of fire of an enemy machine gunner. He was struck down and killed only inches from the wounded medic. For these actions, Lieutenant Vincent Capodanno was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor by the Secretary of Navy on January 7, 1969. On behalf of About Face Radio and the Grateful Nation, thank you for your service.
All right, folks, there it is. Never Forgotten. Those are names that we will not ever forget, and we need to make sure that they are lifted up as well. Hey, our guest for this evening had a family thing pop up. They're not going to make it tonight. Not a big deal. We'll get them on again at some other point in time before November, I hope. So if you're listening, so today is March 13th. So next week we have Dan Horgan with Free Range Texan. I don't know if you guys know Dan. Dan used to work for, you should definitely follow him on the social medias. Go look him up, especially his LinkedIn is pretty awesome. He runs a public media company, I guess, called Free Range Texan. And he's going to talk us all through his time as a TAC P in the Air Force, and what he does now. He did spend a lot of time working for like Black Rifle Coffee and places like that. Nothing but a great guy, all about good stuff for veterans once they're out of the military. So we've got him on for the 20th of March. He'll be here next week. And on the 27th, so we have Mandy Connell, one of our biggest supporters. Her husband, if you don't know who Mandy Connell is, first of all, she's a radio host here in the Denver metro area. Her husband is a Somalia veteran who lost parts of his hand and only has like 3 fingers now from after rescuing some folks from Task Force Ranger. So yeah, he's got a hell of a story. We're looking forward to hearing, from a military spouse. But in the meantime, it's From the Ashes. Can't tell you how much we appreciate you listening in to us tonight. Thank you to Adam for joining us and telling us about the Special Olympics. The link is in the chat, and we will post it as well on all of our socials so you can support the Special Olympics and the Polar Plunge. What am I forgetting? Anything?
I think that's it.
I think it's all of it. Go to Combat Flip Flops and go to Thigh Huggers as well.
I already stood up and almost fell over once.
You did. It was pretty funny to
Thigh
watch.
Huggers. Jesus.
Folks, thanks a lot for being a part of the show. We really appreciate you being here, and have a great rest of your week.